Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this latest Greenfleet webinar. Today, I want to talk about how our newly launched mobile app can help to transform resource allocation using the example of our police client environment. So for the agenda for this webinar, we're going to look at some of the key challenges that are facing the emergency services, how our mobile app is helping by giving real examples to help to improve overall policing operations, and then just look at some of the key benefits that we have derived working with our police clients in developing this mobile app for their police operations. So I'll take you through some of the key aspects that we have achieved and how they help to assist in some of the key challenges currently within the emergency service environment. One of the main things at the moment facing operational policing is being able to respond appropriately to emergencies. So when someone dials 999, quite rightly, there's an expectation that they'll have a quick response. And to enable officers to do that when there are somewhat limited resources, this is becoming more of a challenge. So our apps work very closely with the force control room, their command and control systems, also their airwave radio systems, and also their crime and intelligence system, so that we can help ensuring that there's an appropriate response to those 999 calls. It also helps in managing high demand periods. So by one of the applications in the app is a task management system. So it enables officers to see what tasks are required of them, but at the same time, it helps them to plan and manage those tasks so that firstly, they're achievable, and secondly, they are resolved so that the ability to engage with the community and ensure that the key tasks that the community requires of them are actually undertaken. The app also provides safety for officers. There's an interesting feature which allows them to see which of their colleagues are nearby, so that can help them in making decisions as to how they respond to key tasks. And from police managers and supervisors, it also provides a compliance activity, both in terms of carrying out the operational role, but also in terms of things such as their vehicles, ensuring that they are compliant with all the legislation that they need with respect to safety and accountability. It helps to optimize the resource allocation because, as you can imagine, one of the key challenges at the moment is an increasing demand for police and emergency services against a limited resource availability. And this is likely to become even more acute in forthcoming years with budgetary constraints. So what we like to think is that we've enabled our police clients and colleagues to help them to optimize their resources so that they can ideally get more resource usage for not having to increase the number of officers or the number of vehicles that are required. And of course, what we've also done is enable the integration of new technologies. One of the potential advantages we have of our mobile app is the ability to offer an officer in one secure environment all the key information that they would need to enable them to do their work more effectively. So that keeps them more engaged within the community, it allows them to spend more time within the community without having to revert going back to the station or having to seek additional information via other systems. And we do this by having a secure app which is linked to key technologies and systems already in place within police environment. So some of the key areas where we've actually been able to implement our app and show how it can provide benefits in these environments are things like we've got on this screen now. So one of the key things is streamlining incident management. So a simple link to something like Google Maps allows officers to have a precise navigation tool, give them updates on traffic density, etc. And whilst they may well have sat-nav within their vehicles, often, especially in specialist roles, officers will have to patrol or respond to incidents throughout the whole county, or indeed, if they're on foot patrol, to areas where they may not necessarily be familiar. And this enables them to actually see where the incident is, see the best route there, see what the traffic density is. So it means that they can improve their response times and indeed ensure ongoing safety for the officers. And we've had some real successes in this, in that it helps also linking to our telematics system to show the force control room where the officers are, whether they're en route to an incident, and they can then give reassurance to the person who reported the incident that an officer's on its way. They can identify where the officer is, they can show what their estimated time of arrival is. So that helps to reassure the potential victim, and at the same time ensures that the incident is being managed effectively, that the right resources are going to the incident, and that helps to overall improve the management of it. The other aspect of our mobile app is that it actually allows officers to get notifications of priority incidents within their sector, so that officers are aware of evolving incidents within their neighbourhood, within their policing sector, and then that helps them to respond where they can. So it helps us to have a more dynamic way in actually responding to those incidents. The force control room knows which officers are available, which officers are already dealing with incidents, and they can direct the most appropriate officer with the right skill sets to those critical incidents. And this feature has really helped our police clients to improve response times, but also to provide greater coverage, because they can redistribute their officers so that they're closer to where potential incidents may occur. And it also enables officers to know and have that knowledge, so that when they engage with the community, they know what the incidents are that have occurred around their geographic area, and they can speak with confidence to people who are inquiring about that. What we can also do is show them their nearby tasks and jobs. So as they move into an area, we can show them what key tasks are required of them or their team or their neighbourhood policing unit, so that they can contribute to ensuring that those tasks are dealt with effectively. That improves the community's perception of the police and the fact that the police are actually helping to tackle these incidences. And often that can be perceived as quite trivial, such as antisocial behaviour, but actually has a profound impact on the community and the nuisance that it causes. And the fact that officers can see in their communities what tasks are required, when they're needed to do it, etc., will help with actually giving that reassurance, but also improving the way those tasks are undertaken. The other key aspects of our mobile app are things like smarter resource allocation. So officers can make informed decisions because they know who is around them, they know which tasks are undertaking, they know which incidents are currently going on within their environment, and therefore they can actually be allocated to those tasks more effectively. And this can be as simple as ensuring that the people with the right skills and the right training are actually responding to tasks that are appropriate to their skills and experience. And certainly we've seen in the past where officers have been sent because they're the only available resource to an incident, and whilst they can have a holding arrangement, it's far better that we deploy people who have the right skills and experience to carry those incidents out. It also ensures that there's not duplication of tasks, and that officers get an insight into ongoing tasks, so that they can ensure how they can contribute, whether they can contribute, and you don't end up with lots of officers going to one task or incident, and you can ensure that those tasks are managed in a more effective way. And that brings us nicely to the dashboard, where an officer can see their own personal profile, which tasks they've undertaken, which tasks they need to undertake, and also gives them key performance measures such as time spent in their local policing unit, or their time spent driving, or their time spent responding to incidences. It also enables them to ensure that the tasks that they've been asked to undertaken are carried out, and that tasks can actually be reprioritized as a situation evolves. And it ensures that they eliminate secondary tasks which may be undertaken by their team, so they're not duplicating work, and that provides a more efficient use of those resources. It also enables the police supervisors and managers to know which tasks are being undertaken, which tasks they may need to reprioritise, which tasks they may need to provide more information on from their crime and intelligence systems, to enable the officer on the ground to carry out their roles in an effective way. It shows also for the managers and supervisors a compliance activity, so they know that jobs are being undertaken, they know that they can give that reassurance to the community, and they can ensure that they are actually focusing their limited resources on what the priorities are within their respective policing communities. And finally, with respect to the telematics, we link into the vehicle's logbook. We can also provide driver behaviour scores. So this also helps so that we don't have to fill in paper logbooks. Officers can see all their trips, they can replay their trips, they can even categorise their trips. So if as part of the resource management you want to know which trips were done as a response, which trips were done as part of the task management, and which trips were mainly transport or commuting, you can build that picture up with a simple click of a categorization button within the app, so that officers aren't having to fill in paperwork or indeed having to go back to the station to enable them to categorize those journeys. And that also helps with respect to improving the administrative burden, and so officers can focus on the important things such as their service to the community. It also provides a driver behaviour so that officers can see what their driving scores are. They can see how ways in which they may be able to improve those scores, and again it helps to improve the overall efficiency of how resources, expensive resources such as vehicles, are utilised. Some of the key benefits that we've worked with our police clients in developing this mobile resourcing app have been, how do we reduce the administrative load? And that's been really important, because what we're able to do through a secure mobile app is show them key intelligence data, key incident data, key resource data, so they know who's around them. They can make informed decisions as to which incidents they may need assistance, which incidents are actually being undertaken at the moment in their neighbourhood areas. That helps them to dramatically improve their response times, because they can be closer to those incidents as they occur without having to travel long distances. The fact that we can link to things such as Google Maps and show them exactly where the incident address is helps to improve accuracy. That helps them again to improve their response time. And we can also improve vehicle efficiency, because we know how the vehicles are being used, we know what trips are undertaken, what type of trips are undertaken, and we can reshape the fleet to ensure that it's more appropriate to the changing and ever-changing way in which policing and policing operations have to undertake. And I think also it helps with informed decision making, because you know you're sending the right resource with the right skill and experience to respective incidences. And I guess from a police manager, police supervisor perspective, we can provide an easy way to ensure compliance. So you know what the key tasks are that are required within a neighbourhood team or within a response team, and you can ensure that there's compliance is undertaken. And where compliance can't be undertaken, perhaps because of limited resources, etc., you actually build up the evidence to show that perhaps we need to redirect something away from neighbourhood policing towards response policing, or vice versa. And I think also the timely activity follow-up is really important. So the app actually helps officers to manage their day, in that where tasks may be a lower priority, if towards the end of the day those tasks aren't being achieved because of lack of resources, it can reprioritize those tasks for the following day, so that the community does feel it's getting a good service from its policing colleagues. And just to summarise, I think some of the things that we have found working with our police colleagues are that there is a recognition that they face numerous challenges. They have to be more dynamic in the way in which they respond to incidents, and that can be quite challenging when you've got limited resources. The mobile app that we've developed in conjunction with our police colleagues ensures that some of those obstacles are no longer there, because we can actually provide them with the information that enables them to stay for longer periods of time within the community. We can show them the tasks that are key to what they need to do to reassure that community, and also to ensure that there's the prevention of criminality. We believe the mobile app is the first of its kind in that it provides real-time data. It updates that data by the location of the officer, by their skill set, by their role, and therefore it aids them to make better decision making and also to improve the way in which they can respond to key instances. And as I said earlier, some of the things that are impacting on the community. And finally, we are developing the system still further so it can streamline tasks, so actually provide updates on things such as incident reporting, so not just pushing data to officers but also enabling them to put data back into the systems so that they can update on various crimes, update on intelligence, so that intelligence can be shared and information can be shared with their colleagues in near real time. And that will improve yet again how resources can be allocated, and given the limited resources that most police forces are suffering with at the moment, help them to optimize their efficiency. So if you'd like to learn more about our mobile app and how it aligns to operational emergency services, or indeed how its application could be translated into a non-emergency environment, then please feel free to learn more about a light bulb analytics solutions can provide by looking at our website www.lba.ltd. Thank you.